Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to show you today what a Curtis the Carpenter is. You may have heard about this a lot recently. It's been kind of a popular topic on all the major news sources, such as Cactus Hill videos and other reputable film dealers. Its name is Curtis the Carpenter, and we're going to demonstrate to you what that is, what exactly that is. So here is Curtis the Carpenter. It's a typical day. 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're just starting work. Curtis, the carpenter, goes over to his boss's pickup and grabs a nail out of it. He takes it and he sets the nail and hammer down, walks over to the lumber yard, gets the board, comes back with the board. It's now 8:30. The lumber yard was 2 blocks away. So he takes a nail and a hammer, and as he's lifting the hammer up, he notices a bit of rust and crud on that hammerhead. So he sets it back down, goes over to his boss's pickup, looks in the glove box, there's nothing in there. Looks in the center console, there's nothing in there. So he decides to look under the seat. Sure enough, there it is under the seat. Grabs the sandpaper out, brings it over, and he cleans the head off. Then he goes over and throws the sandpaper in the trash can. It's now roughly 9 a.m. So he takes his hammer now and his nail. They're going to nail the board down here most of the way, and then they're going to stick it up on the structure and nail it in really fast so you don't have to hold it very long, because time is of the essence to these workmen. So anyway, he grabs his nail and his hammer, takes it, and he pounds once, pounds twice, pounds another time, and this time he bends it over. So he goes to look for a nail puller in his boss's pickup, a nail bar. Goes and looks and he looks and he looks and he finds one. He can't find one, I mean. So he goes back over, and then he realizes that he can use that claw on the back of his hammer to do this. So he takes his nail there, he takes his hammer there, and he turns it around and he pulls it, but he just can't quite get it far enough up. So he takes and sticks his finger under there just to give it a little extra height. So he pushes it, and oh boy, he breaks his finger. Now this is really a catastrophe. He's right at the knuckle, and he feels like he's broken it. So he doesn't know what he can do, so he takes his cup with one finger, and he tries to get it, and then he tips it, though, as he's getting it up there, and it falls down and scalds him along his shirt front. So he's had his hurt finger and this burnt shirt front, and so he goes and he decides he better go ask his boss where all the bandages are. So he walks over to his boss, who is upstairs in a meeting, in a conference. So he walks up. "40 minutes later, he appears back downstairs. The boss was in a conference and wasn't able to get to him to ask him about the bandages. So he goes over, looks for the bandages. It's now about 11:30. He can only use one finger. Finds the bandages. Then he realizes he only has one finger. He only has one hand that he can use here, and he can't quite pull the bandages open with one finger. So he has to go and ask a fellow employee if he can help him. And so the fellow employee does it and puts all the bandages on and everything. And then he does his chest and shirt front and everything. Then he comes back and it's lunchtime. So he goes and checks out, and then he goes over to lunch. It's now 2:30, and all the employees are starting to come back from their lunch break early because time is very important to them. So he comes back and he checks in. Then he grabs his pop and he goes and sits down on a board that he managed to get up 3 weeks previous. And he drinks his pop for about 30 minutes. It's now about 4 in the afternoon. It took him a long time to check in. So he goes over. The boss moved his pickup. It's not there anymore, so he has to go over and find his boss's pickup, and he gets the nail off of it. And then he takes it and he pounds it. This time he drove that nail. He was holding the nail, but he's so frustrated that he just hit it really hard, and he drove the nail right down through his fingers until he ripped some skin off of both of his fingers. So he looks at the clock, and it's 4:30, so he figures he can go get it This time he knows where all the bandages are. He gets it. This time he just puts it on himself. It's now about 5. Time to quit for the day. So he takes his board, carries it back to the lumber yard. It's 5:45 now. Takes his nail. His boss is left for work. His boss is left for home. So he goes and he figures out. He figures he better find a safe place to hide the nail. So he hides it right in his fellow employee's work boots, because he knew that was the one place nobody would ever even dream of looking. So it's 6 o'clock now, and he checks out for the day. At the end of the day. This has been a Cactus Hill presentation of Curtis the Carpenter. If you need more information, please feel free to call or write us at cactusvideos.com. Thank you.